Okay, folks, so you can file this under does government want to become the new religion? Yes, they do. And one of these evidences are that in the Bay Area, they are thinking of creating a minister of loneliness. Okay. What I think we may need perhaps more is a less divisive government. That would be probably the best because the government was responsible for the loneliness, the purported brokenness of people since COVID and during COVID that people had. They forced them to wear masks. They forced them to be inside. They forced them not to go to the store at certain times. They forced a lot of things on people, and they forced kids to be at home and do homeschooling instead. This led to some detrimental effects, especially on their education, but also their mental well being. And leave it up to the government to kind of do this as a demigod of secular religion that's swooping in to save the masses. Now, this is akin to what's the analogy that that guy who went around and he broke everybody's windows in that neighborhood, and the next day he came around as a salesman selling window replacement. So this is kind of the same thing, of course, because leave it up to the government to do this. Now, I'm not ripping on the government in wholesale. I believe they have some functions that are necessary, definitely, but not this. This is definitely not that. So this ranks right up there with that. And so you have that type of analogy. They've destroyed people. Okay, the government went through and they destroyed people at the behest of the CDC, Anthony Fauci, etc. And now they are coming in, swooping in to go, hey, maybe we should raise some more taxes so you can funnel some more money into a new program. And which I believe is the last thing California needs is another government program. So let's shoot through this a little bit here. At the end of January, ABC 7 from the Bay Area reported that San Mateo County Supervisor wants the state of California to create a minister of loneliness position. Yes, you heard that right. For the state, because loneliness is now a county-wide health emergency. I am not discounting loneliness. Every person on the face of the earth, I believe, has encountered it or had to struggle with it at one time or another. But this is not, I don't believe the government should really be involved here. Do people need some help? Yes, but I don't believe we need one more program to ameliorate what the government themselves caused. So ABC says, in addition to declaring loneliness as a county-wide health emergency, San Mateo County Supervisor David Canepa is also asking Governor Newsom to create a new minister of loneliness position for the state. Okay. With a unanimous vote by the Board of Supervisors, San Mateo County has become the first county in America to recognize loneliness as a public health emergency. Okay. We have 45% of the people who find themselves being lonely who suffer from loneliness, said Supervisor Dave Canepa. Canepa introduced the resolution he hopes will spur further action. He says since the pandemic, county statistics have shown loneliness explode among the local population, a trend the country's Surgeon General says is also being seen nationwide. Is loneliness a problem? Absolutely. I totally agree with that. The government, I don't believe they should be really involved here. Perhaps, okay, let's say we justify this a little bit, perhaps to direct people to resources. I can see that, but I don't necessarily think this will solve much of anything. I really don't. And it's just kind of funneling more people's money, making people more impoverished. And it's at the behest of what you guys did. You went through, you broke all the windows the night before with COVID and the mandates. And then the next day you came through as the salesman today to sell window replacements. Oh, is your window broken? I'm selling window replacements. Well, yes. You see where I'm going with this? So they say here, I will place the blame and rightly so exactly where it belongs on Democrats and their policies. It is the Democrat Party who tells people they don't need families, right? Marriage is oppressive and outdated. Men are toxic, and the only husband women need is their government sugar daddy. And in kids, no, don't have those. They will hold you back, ladies. Go to Planned Parenthood and have that abortion multiple times if necessary. Then go to work at a job in a cubicle and come home to an empty apartment. Make sure you can get consent for every intimate interaction you have with another human being ever. Otherwise, you're a rapist. And even if you get consent, we'll totally believe a woman if she changes her mind after the fact or the relationship goes south down the road. If you're white, you're inherently racist and your mere presence in public is harmful to minorities. If you're black, Hispanic, or otherwise, you need to stay away from white people because they hate you. And COVID, of course, as I've said, let's not forget COVID. Stay away from your loved ones for weeks, months, years. Ostracize your family if they don't get the vaccine. And don't forget to parrot our talking points at Thanksgiving, an oppressive holiday for colonizers you probably shouldn't celebrate anyway, you bigot. And Christmas, a Christo-fascist holiday that you can't acknowledge in public lest you hurt somebody's feelings. No one has done more to make people lonely and isolated than the Democrat Party. And now to solve, quote unquote, the crisis, they created the solution, and the solution is more government. How exactly does this work? Will we have mandated get-togethers, government deciding who your friend group is? Yes, this is the social engineering. This is part of this game. Monitoring how social you are. The article is thin on details, something about mental health, but that's it. And don't get us wrong, mental health is important, as I've said. But the government can't get the food pyramid right, and they're going to tackle the mental health crisis. That's the thing is, not only will they most likely screw this up to a degree, they will do, as they always do, start to push their own type of indoctrination, as usual. And we have seen this in social services. We've seen this with, well, if you refuse to give your child hormone blockers in certain states, then we have the right to come in and take that child from you, such as in Maine and in California. Okay, so these are the type of people that are pushing this idea. Okay, to become your intimate, your most intimate, the worshipped idol, the golden calf is, voila, a totalitarian type of dystopian government. So Rick Canton says, do you even hear yourselves right now? No, I don't think so. They think the solution to every problem is government.